Today we are going to do Saxon 1, Lesson 57. We're going to show time to the hour. First, using your paper clock, please show this time on your clock. Be careful when you're moving your hands, as they are paper and I don't want them to rip. What time did we show? It's 3 o'clock. Which hand is the hour hand? This is our hour hand. It's the shorter hand on the clock. It always points to the hour of the time. If this is the hour hand, do you remember what this hand is called? This hand is longer. It's our minute hand. We have 3 o'clock. When it's 3 o'clock, the hour hand points to the 3, and our minute hand points straight up at the 12. Now, can you show me 2 o'clock? Did you move your hour hand to the 2? Now, show me 7 o'clock. Does your clock match mine? The hour hand points to the 7. Your hour hand is your shorter hand. The minute hand is the longer hand. Now I want you to find Master 57. It should look like this. You'll also need a pencil. We're going to work with the top clock first. On the top left. Before we can move on to our clocks and tell time, we have to label the numbers on our clock. Use your clock face to help number your clock. Notice what number is up at the top. There's a 12. Trace the 12. Now what number is on the right? 3. Trace 3. At the bottom, underneath 12, is 6. Trace your 6. And on the right, or on the left, we have number 9. Trace. You can always use your clock to help. What number comes between the 12 and the 3 on our clock? 1 and 2. Put a 1 and a 2. Now, which numbers come between 3 and 6 on our clock? 4, 5. Now, what numbers come between our 6 and our 9 on our clock? 7, 8. And last, what comes between 9 and 12? 10 and 11. Move on to the clock that's next to it. Trace your numbers and practice adding the numbers to the clock. Notice on the bottom too, there isn't the trace numbers there provided for you. Always at the top of our clock, we start with 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Last one on the bottom right. Trace again, write them again. If this is too fast for you, you can always hit the pause button and catch up. Move back to our top left clock. I am writing 5 o'clock. This is the way we write our time digitally. Do you remember why we call this a digital clock? Because it tells time only using numbers. Now we're going to draw the hands of our clock on our paper clock. Remember, how do we show 5 o'clock? Our hour hand points to the 5, and our minute hand points straight up. So when we draw this, I have my minute hand go all the way to the top. Make it touch the top line. Now my minute hand, remember, it's the shorter, or my hour hand is the shorter one. And it's going to point to the hour. So we're going to draw our arrow pointing to the 5. It doesn't touch 5. Make sure there's a clear difference that this one's the longer minute hand and this one's your shorter hour hand. This shows 5 o'clock. Now move to the right. Let's show 10 o'clock. Let's start with our hour hand. Our hour hand is telling us that it's pointing to 10. Shorter hour hand pointing to 10. And my minute hand is going to go straight up to the top. 10 o'clock. If you need to check your work, go back to your clock here. How would we show 10 o'clock? My hour hand points to the 10. My minute hand has not moved. 10 o'clock. Now move on to the bottom right, bottom left. This time, let's show 1 o'clock. My hour hand is telling me that it's 1. Point to the 1. Minute hand, 0 at the beginning. Point straight up to the top. Make sure it goes up to the top of the clock, touches. Your minute hand is the longer one. Hour hand is shorter. I don't want to see it touching your numbers. And the last one, 6 o'clock. Hour hand points to the 6. Minute hand straight up top. Remember, you can always check your work using your clock. 6 o'clock. Do they match? Yes, they do. Now I want you to find the next practice page with clocks. We are going to draw the hands of our clock to show the time. Let's do the first one. What time is it? 3 o'clock. We have to draw our hour hand pointing to the 3. Our minute hand, straight up touch that 12. 3 o'clock. Next we have 7 o'clock. Hour hand tells us it's 7. Minute hand, straight up. 7 o'clock. What time is it? 10 o'clock. That's Miss Emily's bedtime. Five o'clock. Eight o'clock. Last we have 2 o'clock. Make sure your work matches mine. Now let's move on to our practice. Guided practice 57A. Make sure it says this number at the top. You also need, for this practice, you'll need a blue crayon, red, green, and yellow. Pause the video if you're going to grab these. First, write your name. Number 1. And my friends, if you need more time to complete these problems, just hit the pause button so you can catch up. Number 1. Trace the number 52 and write 52 one more time. Only goes halfway. Give him a belly and a hat. Curl around and go to the left. To the right. See? Number 2. Color the top half of the left square blue. Let's look at our squares. Which one's on the left? Use your hand. There's the letter L. This one's on the left. I'm going to put an L underneath so I remember. That means if this one's left, this one's right. Top left square blue. Top on the left, blue. Color the bottom half of the right square red. Here's the right and they want bottom. There it is, red. Color the top half of the right square yellow. Right top. And then color the bottom half of the left square green. Number 3, color the A, B, and C on the chart. Now it wants to know what number belongs on the square with the A, the B, and the C. These letters are almost like our pennies covering a number on our hundreds chart. We can count 1, 2, 3, 4. So under A is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We can count by ones. My friends, you also have your hundreds chart. It's in your moose binder. You can go back and look and use that to help. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Also look at your number or your letter and see what numbers are on the left and on the right. I have a 23 and a 25. What number comes between 23 and 25? 24. Number 4, number your clock face. Then show this time. We start at the top. 12 is always at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We are showing 8 o'clock. Our hand points to our 8. It's the shorter one. Minute hand straight up. Make sure it's longer, touching and even crossing over that 12. 8 o'clock. Number 5, count by 2s and fill in the missing numbers. Remember the way that Miss Emily uses the comma to help her count if we haven't gotten the hang of counting by 2s just yet. 2, when we count by 2s, remember we're skipping that middle in between. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. You can use your hundreds chart to help you too. Let's practice counting by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. When you're ready, turn over your paper and work on the homework side. You can try this by yourself or ask an adult for help. If you are finished, check your work, pause the video, and check your answers. If you had trouble on any question, stick around and see what you did wrong. We'll do these together. Number 1, fill in the missing numbers. We're starting with our 62 here. I don't remember how to count my 60s. I'm going to use my hundreds chart. Using that hundreds chart, find your 60s. Assembly doesn't have one right now to use, but find the row of 60s. Find your 62. What number comes before 62? 61. 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70. You'll need those 4 crayons again. Blue, red, yellow, and green. Number 2, color the top half of the left square yellow. I'm going to label my squares to help me remember which one's on the left and which one's on the right. Top half of the left square yellow. Left top. Bottom half of the right square green. Here's my right on the bottom. Top half of the right square red. Color the bottom half of the left square blue. Number 3, color A, B, and C. What number belongs under the squares A, B, and C? What number comes between? Or we can count by ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Number your clock face and show the time. What time is this? 9 o'clock. First have to label our clock. 12 is at the top. We start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Remember, we're showing 9 o'clock. My hour hand is going to point to the 9. Minute hand straight up past that 12 to the top. 9 o'clock. Last, we're counting by 2s to fill in the missing numbers. Remember, we can use the comma to count if we're still learning how to count by 1s. I also have this chart up here that I can use to help me count. I'm starting at 2, skipping a number. 4, 6, A we said was 8, 10, skip a number, B was 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Practice counting by 2s one more time. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. If you need more practice showing time to the hour, you can go on IXL under your grade and practice telling time. Great job today.